Hello, everyone. This is Natalie Restored, your multidimensional channeler, higher self channeler as well. I'm so happy you're here. And let me know who's there. Let me know who's there and where you're from, if it's the first time you're connecting. And if you're watching this as a replay or a little bit later in time, well, just share your visions, your opinion, your perception of what I'm going to share today. And today with you, I would like to talk about the energies we channel, we receive during a channeling, and the common perception we have around this. And I think it requires some clarifications. And at the same time, remember that whatever I'm sharing today might be outdated in the next months and years as more information is coming through our spiritual sensors globally or individually. So again, just take this information as an unlocking process for you to discover more about yourself and your own abilities and what is accessible out there, but do not let it limit your vision about what it is. So I connect to people's higher selves in order to retrieve guidance that is meant to help them clear the remaining blocks that are stopping them from reaching their highest potential. And that can mean anything that the client and the person is ready to receive. We're talking from having clearer relationships, expressing themselves in a more natural and authentic way. Or it could be to develop more their healing and intuitive abilities. And it could be all of this, because this is who we are. We are incarnated beings living in a more physical realm. And at the same time, we are also energetic and spiritual being. And at the same time, we need to work on sharing our gift, sharing our intuitive self. So it's not one or the other. It's not the physical or the spiritual. It is really both at the same time. And through my work, I realized that the higher self is the coordinator of all connections and all guidance we receive, whatever we receive. Even if you're channeling a specific collective, even if you receive intuition from an archangel or any being or civilization or name that is mentioned to you, you are going through your higher self. Always, always, always as the, I don't think the entry point is the right word, but as the connector to all those different dimensions that are there to share information. Now, people can get caught up with names. People can get caught up with terms, and they can sometimes feel that they are continuously connecting to either a collective or an archangel, an angel, or sometimes connecting to different collectives and energy sources. And it is normal to want to have the name of whom we're talking to. It's not really a whom, but let's say the energy we're talking to. And at the same time, this very human and 3D desire to know where we're coming from, who we're talking to, and from whom we're downloading or unlocking the information or retrieving the information is limiting the reality or our perception of exactly where we're getting that information. So I'm going to read, and feel free, of course, to share your questions and comments. I'm going to read a post I channeled and I shared with my group on Facebook and Instagram. And I just invite you to see if it resonates with you, if it feels right or not, and if it is unlocking questionings or a sudden truth of or awareness that this could be a truth. Again, the idea is not to say I'm right or wrong, because I'm probably both. And it's not really my ego who realized this information, but more a channeled information that made sense to me. Whether you agree or not is totally fine. And I might even disagree with the content in a few months, because more information is coming through. We're unlocking so much energies and awareness coming from different sources that at this point, I'm not even surprised I could be in disagreement with what I'm sharing today. But let me read it and we'll talk about it. All right. So here it is. Have you noticed that all my connections and activations are involving the higher self and the heart center clearing and strengthening? This is usually how I channel. I never say I'm channeling a collective, even though it can happen. But I go through my higher self to channel the collective. And when I'm working with clients, I'm going through their higher self to, first of all, clear what they need to clear. And when I say they, the higher self will decide which entity, which vibration, which dimension are we going to connect to, because their earth self, their avatar here on earth, so my clients are in need to hear this because it will resonate, it will ignite their curiosity, and they will want to know more about it. Either way, they know, the higher self knows what there is to share and what needs to be shared with the client to unlock the next level of their evolution. But let's continue. So some other energies may come through as helpers and guides, but always the channelings are inviting to clear all blocks, stopping your own ascension to inner connection. So the key words here are ascension to inner connection. We always talked about ascending to higher vibrations, and I even use those terms, and I even sometimes use the gestures, the movement, saying we're raising our vibration, we're raising our awareness. It's not that it's wrong, it's just terms and visions and concepts we have been exposed to. But we're not really raising ourselves to something, even though it feels that we're connecting to energies and collectives that seem to know more, that seem to hold a higher energy. So we think they're external, we think it's not us. But the ascension process is not elevating ourselves to other connections than just our own divine aspect. So the ascension to inner connection is opening, dropping all the old beliefs around the limitations we have, or we think we have, around the ability to connect to a higher source of knowledge and of energy, of knowing, of abilities to connect to other sources of information. We feel that we need to connect to another being. We feel we need to connect to an archangel, to the Pleiades, to the Syrians, to any other collectives, while in fact, we are raising our connection to our inner wisdom. So I'm not talking about any philosophy here. It's only something that is there, but because we always have, and this has been imprinted within us throughout ages and centuries of making us believe that we needed somebody who knows better, an external teacher, guru, channeler, seer, whomever was identified as the holder of the knowledge. We always thought that we needed to rely on somebody or something that knew better than us to ignite the next level of our evolution. And in the end, we are holding the wise information. We are holding the information and the capacity to receive and retrieve more of this. So let's continue. We are ready to not rely on other sources of guidance outside the purest we are already connected to, the higher self, for us to move forward and expand our abilities to bring peace on earth. And bringing peace to ourselves, bringing peace to our incarnation, to our life, is of course sharing this knowledge with others, consciously or not. I know people want names and the identification of the energies we connect to, but most of the time, everything is coordinated by the higher self to create a channeled environment that generates joy, peace, and a sense of being supported by higher vibrations, while in fact, even what appears to be an external force is simply a highly vibrational aspect of ourselves. So again, we have been used, even in the channeling and metaphysical and new age world, we have been used to hear people channeling, or even the psychic readings. Somebody wants to talk to you, some entity wants to share that message with you. I'm channeling the Pleiadians, I'm channeling the Galactic Federation, I'm channeling this being, I'm channeling Buddha, I'm channeling Yesu. I'm not saying they don't exist, but they exist as another version of ourselves vibrating at a different energy. And it doesn't mean that they didn't have an existence in the past. It doesn't mean that they don't exist around us. It doesn't mean that we don't have any other collective and high vibrational beings and other alien species moving around us, helping us, sending us guidance, sending us information. It is still there. And at the same time, when we channel, when we connect to their vibration, it is just a signal they send and we receive, because we are using our own broadcasting system and receptive system. So at the same time, they might give their names. This is so-and-so from Orion. I am your guide, and my name is so-and-so. This is totally possible, and this is happening. And at the same time, I'm pretty sure when you receive that information from me or any other channeler, or even on your own, you know that that name, you know that the name of the individual, of the energy, or the collective resonates like it is a part of you. It feels like, I know this. Yeah, it makes sense. I kind of already touched that topic a while back, but it is confirming something. It feels like home. It feels like a knowledge, because it is a part of you, because the knowledge is there, because the knowledge has been accessible all the time. And honestly, if our earth self was not eager to get names of who we connect to, it would remain nameless. Is it really important to know that we're talking to this archangel or angel? As a group, as a human group, we feel connected. Oh, you're also connecting to Metatron, or you're also connecting to the Pleiades. And suddenly we create families of like-hearted people, people that seem to channel the same vibration, the same collective. So it is a very human 3D securing, safe aspect to know that somebody else is channeling the same thing, or that's another being or another person might be connected to the Pleiades. And again, of course, we're connected to different star systems and we have some of their energies within us. And at the same time, you're only channeling another aspect of yourself that has decided to connect to other realities to experience another incarnation or another aspect of who we are, of who you are. So when you hear a message or a truth or a, a, a guidance from yourself or another person channeling for you, when you feel that, oh my God, yeah, it makes sense, it's because it has unlocked within you a knowledge that was dormant and suddenly it's coming back to your awareness, it's coming back to the surface. But in the end, all you did was an inner travel, an inner journey, a deeper connection to your true self. I will continue, okay? And we'll come back. It does not matter whether we connect to Orion, the Pleiades, or Sirius. It is not vital to reconnect to ancient civilizations. And we have been talking about Lemuria, ancient Egypt, and Atlantis. We'll talk about that. It is not imperative to believe other high vibrational beings are guiding us to salvation. What remains crucial is to always remember that the source of guidance is permanently within us and does not depend on any external support. So again, even if yourself have been channeling entities or collectives and they are giving you a name, of course, don't disregard that. But the name they give you that holds an energy, it's just like opening the book of a lesson and you're just at reading a certain lesson. You're just accessing an information that holds a certain energy. That energy is associated to a collective, to a civilization, past, present, future. It is still you in a certain way. It is coming through you. You already have it coded within you. And the name is simply unlocking a knowledge. So a few days ago, like most of my experiences, I channeled an information for a client and a light being came through for one of my clients. And I knew the clients, like most of the clients, I knew my client would ask, where are they from? What's their name? Because it's easier to connect to this energy again and say, okay, now I'm calling this being from Orion. But in the end, I could sense the being saying, yes, again, you're going to ask me where I'm from. And yes, again, you will want a name. All that happened within seconds. And it became an automatism for me to ask the entity, okay, I know my client will want a name. Can you give a name? All this happens very quickly. But I know those energies are like, yeah, guys, we're going to do it for you. But in the end, we're a part of you. So why do you want to give an external name? You could call it Natalie. Natalie's energy from Orion. Can you please come back because I have a question and I need guidance? That would do the same job. But anyways, that being said, yeah, we're from Orion. I, of course, conveyed this to my client. And the name is, and I'm trying to remember the name, and it doesn't really matter, but the sound is important. It was something like Irachium. Either way, it doesn't matter whether it's the real name. But I heard the name, I repeated it, I wrote it down and mentioned it a few times during the channeling to my clients, Irachium. And then I realized, oh my God, all those names they're giving us are just codes to unlock our next level of connection to our higher self and all the energies that are available to us. So that Iraqium name was just the password for that person, the client, to connect to those higher vibrations that are somewhere in our extended field. So, and I was repeating it and I said, oh my God, the more I repeat that name, which is supposed to be the name of that being coming from Orion, is, oh, shifting something within me. It's the way we say abracadabra. It's the way we say any word that feel magical. So those words they're giving you, the same way we download, I shouldn't say download, the same way we connect and share light language, which is a language we don't understand, but it sounds good, it feels good, it recalibrates the human body. It's the same thing. They're just codes that are unlocking an awareness, a knowing we have within you. So you have the impression you're calling something external with a higher vibration, with a higher knowledge, while in the end, you're just opening the access to something you have, and we have within you. I don't know if it's clear, and please feel free to ask your questions, but I'm not saying everything that we have learned so far is an illusion, because there's a part of truth. But we're all ready to stop relying on the idea that others, humans or not, have a knowledge we cannot access. Let me finish. Our higher self brings the energies and guidance we are ready to integrate in order to move forward. Ultimately, the goal is to feel safe, empowered, and free to love, to share the love, to receive the love, as we are an infinite fountain of loving energy that will never run dry. The rise to awareness is far beyond what words can describe. It only requires the ultimate trust that you are constantly connected to your higher source of guidance, your higher self. Outdated beliefs, we constantly need teachers, healers, seers, and leaders to show us the way is erroneous and obsolete. So, since the beginning of my time sharing my gift into the world, the gift of channeling, I was convinced, and I'm still convinced, and of course even more so now, that the higher self remains the highest source of guidance you could ever have. Even if a very, very important being comes through and talks to you, allows you to see a reality, and you feel, oh my God, this being knows so much. I really want to reconnect to this. In the end, your higher self allows that connection. Nothing enters your field of awareness unless your higher self feels that that is the kind of sign she or he needs. That is the kind of guidance he or she needs. Your higher self is coordinating all the time, all the experiences you have based on the lessons you have acknowledged and agreed to experience. Your higher self will bring other energies to deliver a message, to ignite a gift, an ability, or clear your body that may feel trapped or overwhelmed. all this is coordinated by your higher self. Even if it doesn't say, I am your higher self, and I'm bringing the energy of Kuan Yin to help you resolve whatever you need to resolve. It's almost as if your higher self was morphing itself into, morphing is not the right term. It's connecting to another source of information, and it's being downloaded, or I shouldn't say downloaded either. It's being transferred onto you or revealed to you. But you have the feeling that you have so many different aspects coming to you while it's only one, in different realms, in different realities. Now, the key to strengthen this connection to your higher self and feel the support and the love and the safety we're usually asking for when we ask a channeler, a teacher, a psychologist, a leader, anyone, please guide me. Please tell me, what is my next step? What is my gift? What is my life purpose? I'm a star seed. Which planet am I working with? What is my star planet? We're asking somebody else to tell us that. But in the end, you have access to those answers. And the channeler, the healer, might help you, of course, to ease that connection. But eventually, you're meant, and this is the goal of New Earth, you're meant to retrieve that information on your own. And the best way is not the third eye. The best way is not the crown chakra. Not of them. I'm not saying that they're not active and they're not potent and they're not necessary. But everything comes from the heart center, which is in the middle of your chest right here. So when healing comes through, it's entering here and spreading within you. When an awareness of an information or an energy comes into your field and enters your body, the waves or the wave of change and recalibration enters your heart center. The heart center is the portal, is the vortex to other realms. Those other realms are accessible to your higher self, all of them. But you need to access it, and you need to let it in. So the heart center is the portal. The higher self is the ultimate guide. And anything else, all those other names, even though I know they have existed, Lemuria, Atlantis, they have. They have not, maybe not the way we see them right now, but they have left an energy. They have left a certain vibration that we can learn from, but no one wants to go back to Atlantis. Nobody wants to go to Lemuria. Nobody wants to go back to ancient Egypt. We are now recreating a new earth, a new self, a new way to retrieve and retrieve the guidance and always feel connected to this highest source of guidance and knowing and connection to everything around. So we will be guided by all those energies from different civilizations on Earth or around us. We learn, we get those vibrations. But again, the ultimate guidance is to feel empowered that you know how to retrieve the guidance, that everyone is able to retrieve the guidance. Whether you're going to use it to be of service or not is totally up to you. But just by shifting your own awareness and believing that simply by asking your higher self for guidance, whatever names come through, whatever energy comes through, it was meant to be this energy for you to understand and unlock whatever you need to unlock. So the heart center is the central point to interdimensional communication. So and I will end it this way, two major important information today, or details today. Your heart center is the portal, is the path you take to elevate yourself. And elevate means from down to up. It's not the right way, but I'm using this because it's very linear. We seem to be lower, so we're going, but it's just to make you more aware. The word awareness is way more powerful than elevate. And even though I will use rise and elevate because it's in my vocabulary, the notion is not to look up, to look down, it's to look around. Looking around is just allowing you to see what is always there. But first you have to love yourself, to love the incarnation you're in, even if it has been difficult. And if it still remains difficult because you're going through some challenges or have in the past, then find ways or people that will help you to unlock those traumas, those blockages, because it's not always easy to do it on your own. But always trust that your truth is here. If you're exposed to a knowledge or an information that doesn't feel good here, then it's not what you're meant to be working with at this moment, even if you come back to it or go back to it years later. So work on yourself and remember that if you can simply visualize that your heart center is opening up, then suddenly it's like working with another cable company that offers you a package with way more channels. And suddenly you are starting to connect to new energies. Whether you have 3 energies, many energies, and even that, saying 3 energies, 3 channels is not really an important information because everything is accessible. So again, to conclude, and I'll be very happy to read your questions and answer them, what is important is to not remain stuck or limited. I'm sorry, I need to drink. To not remain or keep your vision or your conception of time limited because somebody told you that, yeah, your main guide is Archangel Michael, or you are so connected to the Pleiades. I don't say disregard this because I know I will still channel some kind of similar information, and I know it's not for me. I know it's because my client will want some kind of reference to read about it and to feel, oh my God, me too. I'm from the Pleiades. It's so human. And we will channel this. You might read this in cards and books. And if it feels good, stay with this. But remember, if you feel that you're ready to move to another kind of information or another source of information, then are you really from the Pleiades? As a star seed, are you really connected to only one planet or only one kind of gift? If you feel you're an intuitive, I'm telling you, you have all the clairs, clairvoyance, clairsentience. Yeah, you may have a dominant one, but they're all accessible. You can channel Lemuria, you can channel and connect to Atlantis and energies from there. You can connect to the energies of the archangels or whatever name you call or you use. Personally, it's rare that I receive the word archangel or ascended master, not because I don't believe they don't have an energy. I just believe that it is a name that has been given for us to identify them in a certain way. But if they show up to us without a name, does it make them less relevant? No. But again, it's, when you meet somebody, oh, by the way, what's your name? I think they know this. But do not be surprised if very soon, because we're opening our heart center to download, to retrieve the purest information possible, that the need to get a name will become more and more irrelevant. We will simply, and I know this is what is going to happen for me, but I'm telling you, it will happen to all of us eventually, at a different time, at a different pace, and it's all fine. Eventually we'll say, your higher self is saying this, or I feel my higher self wants me to see this, to read this, to talk to that person. I feel the energy of this planet, but we won't get caught up. Oh my God, I'm working with Orion. Oh my God, I'm working with Andromeda. It doesn't mean it's not true. It means that there's even higher energies than this. And yes, your higher self is working higher than any possible civilization on Earth or beyond Earth. So when you connect to another collective, you're not connecting to the highest energy you could connect to. It's fine. It's a messenger, like when you get a delivery from different providers. One may be better, but I think it's just connected to your level of exploration. You might connect to one being because this is the kind of information you need. But again, the puppet master here is really your higher self. It will put you in connection with all the energies you're meant to be receiving. Your higher self is above those collectives. Your higher self is above those past civilizations. Now, can you retrieve all the information your higher self holds, which, think of it again as a cable box that can tell you, okay, you want to connect to that? Okay, let me connect. Okay, you need to have your own vessel clear enough to hear and to feel and to transmute and incarnate this. If not, I could receive the most important information from my higher self telling me that, yeah, this is the kind of philosophy or energy that was shared on Sirius. If it doesn't mean anything to me, or my body feels overwhelmed with this, or even my mind feels overwhelmed with this, it will be probably even scary, or it will be like, oh my God, it's like being exposed to a very bright light, and you have to close your eyes because it's too much, until you're ready to open your eyes and see other aspects of your higher self, which is simply you vibrating at a higher level. And when I say higher level, it's just that it connects to everything, your past life, your future life, and other realities. So I won't extend the explanation longer than this, as I do feel that I may repeat myself here. But again, and my work will follow this lead, because I just downloaded this morning, and thanks to a post shared by Unification, which is, I think his name is Brandon. He's a channeler, and he really channels a very beautiful energy, which really, really clearly explains the different dimensions. And as soon as I saw, he had a diagram, and if you're following me on Facebook, I have shared his post and his diagrams, his graphs, because it clearly visually explains what I'm sharing here. I'm probably sharing all this in a more easy way, because that's usually how I understand things. I get a very complicated concept, I translate it in the everyday language. This is my way of learning things and sharing the information. So you'll find my way a lot more synthesized in a certain way. And reading his post will probably be very, very uplifting for you. But as soon as I saw his post, it's like, oh my God, that's it. He found the way of summarizing the whole thing in everything I felt and I was trying to convey to people, including my clients and you, was was perfectly done. So again, other channelers are also unlocking things in channelers and intuitives. So I invite you to read his post. And again, I will share it on Facebook. But your higher self is definitely the highest guidance system you'll ever connect to. All right. Of course, you can connect to channelers like me or healers. And I call myself pretty much an unlocker, an activator to clear, whatever is stagnant within you, whether it's emotional, whether it's psychological, whether it's this life or a past life, it doesn't matter. In order for you to receive more and more of those messages and guidance you're meant to be receiving from your higher self, you need to have a clearer field. Doesn't mean you'll be perfect. Well, I'm sorry to say, I don't think so. And what is perfection anyways? But the more you trust that you can get those answers simply by closing your eyes, if ever that is a way for you, and asking for that guidance, you will get it. So I remain available. If you have any questions, I would love to read your comments and answer them if you have any questions. But again, most of my activations, most of my channelings will definitely put the emphasis on trusting your higher self. My goal personally, my mission is to help people unlock their gift and the trust they can have in their ability to download again, to unlock the guidance they're meant to be receiving. So that's what I say to people. You might want to connect with me once or twice to clear all the outdated program you have, or applications or mindsets you have within you. Clear your energy field, connect to your higher self, and make sure that the connection is strong enough that after a few times with me, you don't need it anymore. All right. So I wish you a great day, a good evening, or a great morning, wherever you are in the world. And I hope this helped you, because I do feel we're meant to help each other. Again, the post I read this morning helped me to feel totally confident about what is happening and how I work, and to verbalize it. That was probably the main key for me. And this is the path we will follow, at least if you stay with me. But ultimately, this is what's going to happen, I'm pretty sure. All right. Bye for now, and talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.